Varenna is a charming town on the eastern shore of the lake, directly opposite Bellagio. It lies on a peninsula swept by the Tivano and the other winds that come down from the mountains. Varenna was first inhabited by the Celts, who fished in the lake and raised livestock. Later, Caesar's legions arrived and built a fortress. The army, with their wind-propelled ships, had the advantage of fast travel across the lake. Centuries later, the Lombard king Altari conquered all of northern Italy. The last Byzantine stronghold to surrender was the island of Comacina. During those years, the first castle was erected atop the rocky cliffs. In the 12th century, Milan and Como fought for control of the trade routes. When Emperor Frederick of Swabia, known in Italy as Barbarossa, went to war against Milan, Como allied itself with Frederick. Some towns and villages around the lake sided with Milan, like the island of Comacina and the surrounding territories, home to wealthy noble families like the Counts of Balbiano. Como drove the inhabitants of Comacina away, and many families sought refuge in Varenna, bringing their wealth with them. This marked the beginning of the historic enmity between the people of Como and Varenna. The people of Como attacked the islanders from the lake, forcing them to take refuge in the castle. They only emerged when the boats had retreated behind the Bellagio promontory. Perledo is a small, peaceful village nestled on the hillside, overlooking the lake in the mountains. Its narrow alleys climb steeply and lead to the square in front of the church of San Martino. Vezio lies nearby, perched on a rocky spur where a Lombard fortress stood as early as the 7th century. Theodolinda, who was queen of the Lombards for 30 years, spent her final years here. After 30 years of shaping history, Theodolinda came here in search of silence. Vezio Castle is known as the Castle of Ghosts. They watch us silently in the courtyard and among the trees. The ghosts are always watching us, even when we cannot see them. The tower stands at the heart of the castle. Visitors cross a small drawbridge to enter and climb to the top along a stone staircase. The Lombards, Franks, Visconti, Sforza, and soldiers of the empire all came here to keep watch over the lake. Men built towers to survey their conquered lands, and from these towers they witnessed the rise and fall of peoples and the passage of civilizations. A stretch of the Sentiero del Viandante, the path of the wanderer, begins at Vezio. The first segment is a trail through the woods leading to Fiumelatte. Fiumelatte is a village named after the stream that flows through it. If you ask anyone living near the stream if they can sleep with the sound of the water, they'll tell you it is precisely that sound that lulls them to sleep. The stream only flows from March to October, and no one knows why. It emerges from a cave and plunges straight into the lake. Perhaps an underground network of streams carries water from Mount Grigna to this spot. The stream was studied by Leonardo da Vinci, who mentioned it in his Codex Atlanticus.
A riscontro a Bellagio è il Fiumelaccio, il quale cade da alto più che da braccia 100 dalla vena, a piombo sul lago, con inestimabile strepitio e rumore.
The village of Fiumelatte is a timeless place, clinging to the mountainside and wrapped in silence, where glimpses of Varenna appear between the branches. If you meet someone who lives here, they'll always stop to have a chat with you. In the midst of this silence, words become truly precious. In Varenna, the oldest part of the village lies around the church of San Giovanni. San Giovanni is one of the oldest churches on the lake, mentioned by Pope Celestine in 1143. Around the church, narrow alleys wind their way down to the lake, ending at small, sunlit beaches. The alleys are in the shade, but at the other end, you can see the shimmering waves reflecting the sunlight. From Piazza San Giorgio, a dark alley leads towards the shore. We descend to the marina, and at the far end of the lake, we see the distant snow-capped peaks. But there's one path above all that captures the feeling of being suspended above the lake and surrounded by mountains. The lakeside walk clings to the rock, jutting out over the water, and connects the marina to the town. The first stretch from the marina is open, hovering over the lake. Then it winds through small tunnels beneath the historic houses of the town. In the openings, you can pause to admire the coastline on the other side. Couples come here from afar, living this unique experience for a day, smiling as they stroll along this enchanting path.